Well, my name is Ann Scott, and I am very happy to be representing the Youth Engagement and Opportunity Work Group here with you today. And I'd like to just start very quickly by recognizing the co-conveners for this group, which is Dr. Ilene Satchell and Bakari McClendon. He's trying to hide out way back there. And I'd also like, again, to recognize the work group members from the Youth Engagement and Opportunity Work Group that have really lent their time and their heart and their insight into helping us develop the priorities that we're going to be showing you here today. And I'd also like to give a welcome to all the young people that are here and joining us today and are going to be participating with us today here at the summit. I just want to mention a couple of them by name. We have some students from Catherine Ferguson Academy in Detroit. We have Springport High School represented here today. We also have some students from Jackson High School. And I just met some students here from the Sprout Up program in Adrian, Michigan, here in the green shirts. So we are really glad to have you all here with us today, and we really value the thoughts and ideas that you're going to be sharing with the groups at your table today. I would like to begin with some of the words of the students and young people that we have talked with this year. If we listen, our young people are telling us what they need. They need to know that there is a place for them in this future economy. They need to know that they have the power to make a difference and create change in their own lives and the lives of others. They need to know that they have a chance for a healthy life. And if we listen, then we can muster the determination to put a stake in the ground today for a better food system for tomorrow. I'm very glad to be presenting first today. And that's not just because I'm glad to get this all out of the way, but because the priorities that you are going to be hearing about regarding the future of food in Michigan throughout the day. I want you to think that if we do not consider the up-and-coming generation of citizens that must be prepared to fulfill this good vision, then you might as well just pack it up and let's all go home right now. Youth engagement and opportunity matters because they are the future citizens who need to be able to carry forward the vision that we are going to set here today. We must work to engage, to educate, to inspire, and prepare these young people for the future opportunities ahead. Over the last 6 months, the Youth Engagement and Opportunity Work Group has been working hard through what are the roles and the impacts for youth going to be in this good food system. There was a lot to take in, and a lot to understand about the ways that the food system impacts the lives of young people in Michigan. But ultimately, we focused in on 3 priority areas for channeling the efforts to support youth and the development of this Michigan good food system. Those are health, education, and opportunity. And it's important to note here that these priority areas are not exhaustive, and they are not exclusive of other efforts. Our aim here is not to present new strategies that, roll right over existing efforts. Our role here is to be calling for us to leverage the assets that we have and empower the work of those who are already leading the way for us. And we're going to highlight some of those examples later on. So we begin with health. Michigan's youth are paying a high price for the shortcomings of the current food system. Nearly 30% of Michigan children are overweight or obese. According to Michigan Department of Community Health, overweight children face critical health consequences, such as early onset of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, risk factors, and orthopedic problems. Additionally, youth face social stigma and emotional health issues related to obesity that can affect their social health, and as some recent studies have pointed to, can even negatively impact their academic achievement. Bottom line, our young people are increasingly suffering more diet-related disease consequences before they are even out the door to adulthood. Something in our food system is not working for young people, and especially not for our most vulnerable children. Youth obesity is a complex issue. It involves both dietary and physical factors. However, a majority of the contributing factors are environmental. At home, youth are vulnerable to issues of poverty, lack of access, and the inequities experienced by their families. At school, children are offered choices to the extent of what's made available through school meal programming. Youth are targets of aggressive marketing by the food industry that pervades their homes, their neighborhoods, and their school environments. Wrestling with so many factors, we decided to hone in on the school environment as a place for intervention. So why schools? We took on the school environment for several reasons. First, more children are participating in school meal programs, with increasing numbers of students eating up to 3 meals a day at school. Second, food industry marketing is aggressive and pervasive in schools and seeks to undermine the community and state efforts to affect youth nutrition, eating habits, and health. According to the World Health Organization, $500 is spent by the food industry marketing to children for every $1 states and funding entities are spending to address nutrition and obesity issues. 500 to 1. Third, we looked at schools because schools where a majority of children spend their lives. This is where they build their social life. It's a logical place to empower young people to have a voice and to affect change on their environment and their communities. And finally, we look to schools because schools can serve as a community hubs, reaching the students, their families, and the broader communities with health and outreach and using food access efforts through the schools. Schools have been used this way in other long-term community health intervention outreach programs, and it makes sense to utilize these existing channels. Following the goals that have been set out by the Center for Disease Control's Healthy People 2020 agenda for addressing childhood obesity, we would recommend that we need to decrease the dependence of school meal programs on competitive food and vending sales. In order to do this, we must make concerted efforts to address the tight budgets of Michigan school programs. Food service directors are trying to feed Michigan students and operate entire food service programs at only $3 per lunch meal. Thus, food service directors are often forced to implement a la carte or vending or competitive food programs that may market junk food, sugar-sweetened beverages, make those for sale for students, and those sales help keep those food service budgets running in the black. Tackling this goal is no small task. However, through collaborations with Michigan Department of Education, the School Nutrition Association of Michigan, and other supportive stakeholder organizations, we can develop new strategies to support school food budgets and eliminate programs that compromise a good food environment in our schools. However, change in our school environment is only going to take us part of the way towards combating childhood obesity. It's also critical to engage communities and students through schools in health outreach in these community food programs. While new influxes of dollars to support such efforts would be nice, I think that we could do quite a great deal if we synergize the efforts of our existing state and private funders and have them prioritize health and community food project proposals that embody good food values, utilizing community hubs for outreach efforts, and engage youth in meaningful and contributive ways. And to support this last point, we recommend that engagement and inclusion organizations get involved in school and community food projects in order to provide that support to assist in facilitating effective youth participation, where young people are empowered and are able to share their voice. Education is key if we aim to prepare Michigan's youth to be the future citizens that will populate this good food vision. Youth need to understand how food is produced in Michigan and the impact of the choices that we make around food. Again, we focus in on schools as a key venue where education, inspiration, and the preparation for good food citizens can begin. Our approach is to integrate the values of good food into the curricula for Michigan students and utilize both intercurricular or in-the-school day venues as well as extracurricular and after-school venues to make those things happen. One method is to engage and represent the interests of Michigan Good Food through the National Education Standards Setting Committee, which the public comment period for the science standards is actually occurring this spring in 2010. Another approach would be to expound upon some of our traditional food and agriculture education institutions. For instance, we could support development of sustainability-based agri-science curriculum, that's agriculture and natural resource education, and innovate ways that we can adapt that education to more urban and suburban school settings. Because of food systems' breadth and complexity, it actually is very well suited to cross-curricular study and could be teachable in every classroom, no matter what grade or the name of that high school course title. However, even through good food issues, even though these good food issues touch all of our homes, including educators and teachers, educators may feel intimidated to kind of take on these new learning directions. You know, how do I make a school garden a learning lab? How do I get sustainable agriculture integrated into what I'm trying to teach in science today? So therefore, our third point is that we need to help these educators and support local districts to capture the potential of using the food system through local asset identifications that can help them bring local food into the classroom and enhance those learning opportunities for students. To illustrate this idea, I'd like to highlight one school that has really succeeded in seeding and growing an incredible example of agricultural and food system learning, and that is the Captain Ferguson Academy in Detroit. The students of Captain Ferguson Academy are engaged in innovative, hands-on science education that moves the curriculum beyond the classroom and out into the schoolyard to an amazing degree. This is not pie-in-the-sky stuff. This is quality education that engages students in all types of learning, and it can engage students of all different learning types. If you have not had the honor yet to meet any of the young women of the Captain Ferguson Academy, I hope you're going to take that opportunity today. The power of what this kind of education can do for student achievement is evident in their poise, their confidence, and their determination for their future. Not to mention their graduation rates and their movement into post-secondary education. This brand of education prepares students to engage in the future good food systems that we're setting forth to develop here today. In addition to this quality education that's going to prepare and inspire Michigan youth for a future in a fair, equitable, green, and healthy food system, we have to support youth in finding a place for themselves to find opportunity in this good food economy. There are several fantastic youth entrepreneurship and career and college preparation programs in our state. We have county summer youth employment programs. We have junior achievement, 4-H, Gear Up, Upward Bound, the MSU Multicultural Apprenticeship Program, and that's just to name a few. In order to prepare Michigan's youth for opportunities in the good food system, we must develop partnerships with these programs to increase the exposure to good food careers and opportunities for youth in social entrepreneurship. Traditionally, entrepreneurship programs have reaped many benefits for youth development, and I'd like to take a moment just to explore the importance of social entrepreneurship. What does that mean? We're using that term here to talk about a continuum, and that could be anything from a nonprofit service organization to a highly profitable business that has a social value as the core to its mission and to its product. The good food system that we're envisioning here today is a value-based system. It's fair, it's green, it's equitable, it's healthy. So it makes sense to start cultivating value-based entrepreneurs that can develop the future ventures that are going to contribute to Michigan's economic development in good food. And I'd like to tell you that young people are seeking more than just a job for their future. They want to make a difference. According to a national survey conducted by Junior Achievement and the ING Corporation in just last year in 2009, 84% of teens said that they would forego their ideal job opportunity in order to make a difference in the world, even over the opportunity to make more money. The survey teens expressed that they value work for community betterment over the dollar. Through these partnerships with some of these existing county summer youth employment programs, we can cultivate opportunities for youth to explore good food system careers and entrepreneurship. And I just want to raise up a couple examples here right now. In Flint, we have the Mr. Rogers Just Say No program. We have Mr. Gaines right here. This program, young men and women who enter the Summer Youth Initiative program through the Genesee Regional Chamber of Commerce, they receive job skills and workforce development training, but they experience real food system entrepreneurship in the Mr. Rogers Gardens and their brand new hoop house. They market that food at the Flint Farmers Market. They are getting real job experience, and they're also playing a positive and valuable role in their community. They're getting fresh food to local people. And there's other organizations I just want to recognize. There's Growing Hope in Ypsilanti. There's the Youth Growing Detroit program. These are other programs where they are engaging young people in the kind of social entrepreneurship experiences that give them that leg up in thinking about future careers in the food system. And the Good Food Core idea that we're talking about here would kind of launch an organized effort to expand those kinds of opportunities to more Michigan high school students and give them that exposure to those kind of careers. So I'm going to end now. I'm ending. And I just want to leave you with just taking a moment to kind of imagine what this good food system would look like, where young people are able to benefit and find opportunity for themselves within it. I hope as you continue to listen today that you're going to continue to reflect back on the importance of investing and developing the good food citizens that are going to carry forth the vision that we're going to set forth here today. Thank you very much.